All right, good morning, everyone. I'll be making our quick introduction for today's webinar as we allow some more of our attendees to continue to file in. So good morning. KENX is very excited to bring you today's webinar, Elevate and Analyze, Trending Solutions in Utility Monitoring. If you have any technical trouble, you can call 888-646-0014 or email info@kenx.org with any questions. My name is 𝗞𝗲𝘆 and I'm the marketing manager here at KENX. I'm happy to be here with you today for this exciting webinar. KENX is a leader in GMP and validation education in the life sciences industry. And congratulations, you're all now eligible for a free membership with KENX. Membership allows you access to free on-demand webinars and our free tools section on the website, which includes templates, SOPs, and checklists. You'll also receive discounts to attend our virtual and live conferences. After the webinar, you can claim your free membership by visiting members.kenx.org and visiting the membership plan tab to select the free or Member Plus subscription. Here you'll see our 2024 calendar. Please email info@kenx.org if you're interested in attending a conference, and for those interested in bringing a group or attending multiple conferences, we can provide you a special discount as well. I'd like to call some specific attention to our upcoming conference, Validation University, sponsored by Novatek International. Join us from the 5th to the 6th in Singapore. Join us from March 5th to 6th in Singapore for a 2-day conference and training program that will provide the latest knowledge and best practices in validation for the life sciences industry. The conference will cover a wide range of topics, including process validation, cleaning validation, computer system validation, equipment validation, facility qualification, data integrity, and quality metrics. Speakers will be industry experts who will share their insight and experiences on how to implement effective validation programs. The conference will also offer networking opportunities and hands-on training sessions. If you can't join us in Singapore, Validation University is also coming to the US in San Diego, California, as well as Dublin, Ireland. KENX is proud to be partnered with Temple University. We've donated nearly $150,000 to their RAQA program. When you attend one of our conferences, you can receive 1.5 credit unit hours towards their RAQA program by registering for the Temple track on our website. We're also very proud of our partnership with Novatek International. Novatek International's mission is to produce regulatory compliant software solutions to the pharmaceutical, biotech, and other healthcare industries. Their goal is to improve patient safety by producing solutions that reduce the risks associated with pharmaceutical manufacturing and contribute to product quality. Since 1996, Novatek International has been a global leader in providing innovative and comprehensive process-driven software solutions. With 20 years of successful global installations, Novatek has developed an extensive base of regulatory knowledge, giving you the peace of mind of knowing you are in compliance with regulatory guidelines. Your data is more than just a number. It has the power to drive compliancy and improve your business. We're very lucky to be learning today from industry experts 𝗞𝗲𝘆 𝗔𝗁𝗲𝗲, Territory Manager for Novatek International, and David Cloutier, Territory Manager for Novatek International. You may enter your questions in the chat or questions tab throughout the webinar, and we will address them at the end of the session during the Q&A portion. If we do not have time to answer all of your questions, we will follow up and distribute answers with everyone registered. Please email any additional questions to info@kenx.org. Without further ado, I'd like to pass things off to David and Nicholas to begin their presentation.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Nicholas.
And I'm David.
At Novatek International. And we want to welcome you formally to Elevate and Analyze, Trending Solutions in Utility Monitoring. As you were saying before, Novatek really focuses on providing solutions for increased control of your quality processes. And to us, your data is not just a number, because in today's age of big data and complex algorithms, you really need to cut through. And the need is there for continuous and automated output to help you make informed decisions. Here's a little graphic that just kind of demonstrates our continued and dedicated innovation in our industry. With over 25 years of FIRST since 1996, our mission has really been to help life science organizations leverage their investment in IT and quality processes by reducing costs, improving productivity, and enhancing compliance. It really is what keeps us as the industry lead in things like utility monitoring, and we have a proven track record for process-based digitalization for both our clients and the industries that we are in. We really provide a dynamic and comprehensive solution that zeroes in on risk within your processes and predicts potential problems before they can occur.
Right. So as mentioned before, right, your data is not just a collection of raw numbers. It's really a built-for-purpose information. So the process from raw data entry to build-for-purpose data is long and boring, as you probably know. It can easily take up 35% of your work week when done manually or with the help of Excel sheets. So this process is paramount to you remaining compliant, as well as we're all human, so we can easily make mistakes. So what if it could take you under 10% of your work week to do this whole process and be able to focus on what your job description actually is, which is making quality decisions, right? So with a systemized approach of a software like Nova not only can you achieve that, but you can remain compliant every single time.
And here's just a quick peek at the regulations themselves, EU GMP and Annex 1. As it pertains to Annex 1, monitoring should be undertaken regularly in order to show the effectiveness of the disinfection program and to detect the development of any resistant and/or spore-forming stains. Cleaning programs should be effective in the removal of disinfectant residues. The disinfectant process should, of course, be validated, and validation studies should demonstrate the sustainability and the effectiveness of disinfectants in a specific way that they are used and show support in use expiry methods of prepared solutions. The disinfectants and detergents should, of course, also be monitored for microbial contamination. The cleaning process should be validated so that it can be demonstrated that it fulfills the following: removing any residue or debris that would detrimentally impact the effectiveness of the disinfecting agent used, as well as minimizing chemical, microbial, and particulate contamination of the product during the process and prior to disinfection. Another critical topic that's in review, Annex now calls out the need to control these residues, as well as raising concerns over the potential latent effect of residues as highlighted in section 6.5A and B, which references residues potentially creating a barrier and/or posing a particulate risk to the product being manufactured. Validation of the cleaning processes should prove that they can remove any residues that would otherwise create a barrier between the sterilizing agent and the equipment surfaces. Here, the word sterilizing really has been challenged in the consultation for customer review as incorrect. The changes also highlight that residue removal should occur to prevent chemical and particulate contamination of the product during the process, all of which also links in with the requirement of cleaning stages. There is a specific statement on cleaning programs that should be effective at removing disinfectant residues. It all ties in with low residue requirements that clearly state that it is no longer the accepted practice to allow residues to build up uncontrolled on surfaces. It is a necessity that products used for decontamination of RABs and isolators demonstrate that they have no impact on manufactured product sterility testing. So residual impact must be assessed. The effect on product manufactured and product contact surfaces should also be considered. These are significant enhancements to expectations for the visual inspection, which fits with a focus on residues and reflects a clear industry trend towards the need to remove residues and protect product quality. All of this to say that it is pushing more and more towards regular trend analysis and making sure that you're keeping everything in line both visually and on a process-based approach.
Right. So just to go over a few critical roles regarding utility monitoring, right? Obviously, we have maintaining sterile environments. So in industries such as pharmaceuticals and biotechnology, maintaining these sterile conditions are paramount. Utility monitoring ensures that critical utilities like HVAC, so heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, and water systems are functioning correctly. So reducing the risk of airborne or waterborne contaminants entering the production area. The second point would be to maintain regulatory compliance, right? So many industries, especially those involved in healthcare, food production, are subject to strict regulatory requirements. So helps organizations comply with these regulations by providing documented evidence of the control and integrity of these critical utilities. Another one would be mitigating risk. So risk mitigation, contaminated utilities can lead to costly product recalls, downtime, and reputation damage, of course. So utility monitoring reduces the risk of contamination by ensuring that utilities are operating within specified parameters, thus minimizing the chances of product contamination. Another key point would be the energy efficiency of such a system, right? So monitoring utilities can lead to more efficient operations, reducing the need for excessive energy consumption. So this can indirectly contribute to contamination control by minimizing heat, humidity, and particulate matter generated by utility systems. Another key point would be predictive maintenance. So continuous monitoring of utilities can predict equipment failures or deterioration before they lead to contamination risks. So preventative maintenance based on real-time data can extend the life of critical utility equipment. There's also a rapid intervention. So in the event of a utility-related contamination incident, monitoring systems can trigger alarms or alerts, enabling rapid response to contain and address the issue before it affects your product quality as well.
And here we're going to look at digital innovation in utility monitoring, really harnessing that data for smarter utility management. The first key point to really break down here is the real-time monitoring aspect. Utility monitoring really generates a lot of valuable data that can be analyzed to identify both trends and patterns, which we will get into a bit later. But for now, this is data-driven approaches that enable informed decision-making, helping organizations really pinpoint contamination sources and implement preventative measures, as well as minimizing downtime. Timely alerts and predictive maintenance really reduce the risk of your unexpected utility-related downtime in your day-to-day. Things like filter qualification is a big point here, because qualification is a big thing, and making sure these filters are free of holes, which can damage the environments from contaminants entering the room and shutting down your manufacturing. As well as looking at historical data analysis, you do also have to look behind at the history as well as looking forward at trending. And storing this historical data in an easy to manage way allows for trend analysis and data-driven decision-making to optimize your utility performance looking forward. As well as reduced human error, which with a digital system definitely is something that is reduced to, if not zero, as well as scalability. Digital systems can easily scale to accommodate facility growth or changing monitoring requirements, as well as efficient resource allocation, which shows that data insights that will help organizations allocate resources more efficiently, reducing operational bottlenecks that can often occur, and waste in both time and other resources.
Yeah, so just to kind of keep building upon what Nick was saying, right? A few key points to harnessing data for smarter utility management. We have stuff like data segregation. So what does data segregation allow you to do? It kind of allows you to set up a hierarchy of sites, departments, or other categories and create access rights for users and link to the categories themselves, right? So this way, some users can have access to data only from their level, and others may have access across levels as well. So the latter can have company-wide visibility as they can filter the data by these categories and view trends, excursions, recovery reports, and many more stuff as well. There's also audit trails, which is kind of self-explanatory in a way, as well as sample scheduling and electronic work lists. So a digital system supports all types of scheduling, so routine, batch-related, non-routine, rotational, etc. There's some media inventory and expiry tracking as well. So, media and other materials are critical during the utility monitoring process. Automating the usage and tracking of media and materials is a vital improvement. Digital solution has an integrated inventory tracking feature for all media, which eliminates the need for manual logbooks and manual tracking of media, inventory amounts, growth promotion, testing, expiration, and ultimately preventing users from utilizing expired media, right? So, as well as alert, action, and range specifications. So one of the biggest challenges in utility monitoring is repeated alerts in a given area. Although the action level is not reached, repeated alerts may require an action to prevent the problem before it occurs. Digital solution addresses this requirement with the 3 levels available: range, specification, and trending features, as well as rapid data entry, so RDE, excursion handling, and the review and approval. samples create a large volume of data. The digital solution has a grid-based data entry solution. It provides all the flexibility and efficiency of an Excel-type data entry interface, wrapped in the security and integrity of 21 CFR Part 11 and GAM5 system. It expedites the entry of hundreds of samples to be logged and processed concurrently within minutes, while substantially lowering, if not completely eliminating, data entry errors. Excursions are both visually indicated on entry, with notifications transmitted by email. Investigations can be initiated directly into the system. Review and approvals, Review and approvals can be executed in this window as a batch transaction, making for a more efficient result processing, faster reporting and trending, and batch release, of course. So all in all, reducing, if not completely, getting rid of human or transcription errors, right? And we also have microorganism identification. So what does that mean, right? Microorganism identification is essential in exercising and demonstrating control over your production environment. Regulatory bodies want to see that suitable action is taken based on the type of microorganism. As such, a digital solution is equipped to allow micro IDs for every positive count. Multiple IDs may be entered for each sample, and images can be included for reference and tracking as well. So these IDs may be viewed at any time through stuff like pie, bar, line charts, or trends can be identified by filtered data search at sampling points as well. So for example, users such as yourselves can easily pull up a pie chart of the top 10, 25, or all of the microorganisms found over any given period of time. And the last one would be interactive dispersion maps for your clean rooms. So the maps automatically populate with green, yellow, or red points to provide users, such as yourselves again, with an immediate visual confirmation of monitoring results, with green being below alert level, yellow in the alert level, and red, you need action to take respectively. Finally, when an excursion occurs, the maps facilitate root cause analysis that helps eliminate the further spread of contamination, but we'll kind of get into more of that in a minute.
Awesome. So the next thing we're going to talk about is trending, something we've been mentioning quite a bit here so far in the presentation, where we're going to break this down. Trending really is the advanced analytics that change your outlook on risk prevention. A digital system similar to that of Novatek utility monitoring offers a multifaceted trending capability, which really allows you to evaluate data from a plethora of different angles to find patterns and be able to do root cause analysis. Reducing future risk is the purpose of trending. It is the base of trending, as it really provides you with critical process feedback that enables you to be more proactive rather than reactive. And with that, it really is integration of advanced analytics and in-house trending capabilities that are able to help you do that. These algorithms are used to analyze your massively large data sets that are compiled in your day-to-day and identify excursions accordingly. Trending assists in a multitude of different ways, but a few of them that are really of note here is things like predictive modeling. And an example of that would really be assessing and detecting your potential risks and categorizing their significance accordingly. Things like batch process optimization, excursion reporting, and having a flexible dynamic reporting view from all of the raw data entry. is a process that really is optimized by finding the root cause and tracing the source of your contamination, as well as maintaining full visibility and a state of control. With trending, you eliminate a lot of the unnecessary factors and a lot of the issues, things like inconclusive investigations for excursions, the commonly seen idea of correction, which is really reactive, instead of prevention, which is really proactive, as well as missed problem areas within your process that can be hard to spot otherwise. For example, risk factors associated with incubation or sample handling. And all of that to show here with a few of the kind of trending analysis graphs that you can pull to do the root cause analysis. This is just a set of graphs that really help show you what it looks like within the system as you traverse the root cause analysis result generation. You can really trend by any of the important metrics, such as equipment, product lot, operator, species, among a bunch of other filtered variables. And just to help better show that, here's kind of a visualization of the trending process, as it really is kind of like an interconnected web of how trending is really able to help you keep a comprehensive approach and how you can stay proactive. You're really able to utilize everything from your microorganisms to your methods, product lot, location, your type of sample, who did it, when it was done, really any possible variable that you can extract from the raw data entry.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to data integrity and security, right? So as we've mentioned earlier as well, your data is the most important thing today. So you're kind of going to go through how digitizing your process can lead to better data integrity and security. So obviously mentioned this point a little earlier, but site segregation and overview allows you to do something like that. So as mentioned, it enables differing user levels to access multiple or singular sites or processes based on that user's authority. There's also the fact that it can help you capture data directly through a system when it's digital rather than having to go fetch it. It eliminates transcription errors. So, with a pivot towards a digital system, transcription errors such as data omission, data inaccuracies that have a negative impact in your decision making, as validity of the data cannot be trusted, are ultimately reduced. Right. We have data traceability as well. So by tracking and tracing that data throughout its life cycle, you can confidently identify the source, validity, and history of the data, which enables more accurate analysis and reliable reporting. So all in all, it's a more transparent and auditable process to work with. As well as training users on both data integrity and safety and some cloud implementation as well. So training users on both the safety and awareness of the system is paramount in maintaining accountability, as well as adherence to company-specific security protocols. So ensuring that our systems are not compromised, while awareness is the roles and responsibilities of each user within that system. So we've heard what the industry has been saying, and our extensive and diverse client base as well have needed over the years. So we've made sure to take an industry-defining stance to accommodate company-specific security protocols for both user and information technology needs. Right, so I know this was mentioned a little earlier in the intro as well, but we too are a quality-driven organization. We have extensive industry experience over the last 27 years. We have a vast knowledge of CGMP, GAM5, ICH, ISO, and data integrity guidelines and regulations. Product sets developed for 21 CFR Part 11 and Annex 11. So obviously making us keenly aware of how they are applied in your day-to-day process as well.
And jumping off of that and kind of looking into the overall thing here at Novatek, we have seen how to get you go live faster. And it is really a streamlined process for us. And I'm just going to break it down into a few quick and easy little segments. So the first thing is being process-based. Process-based really allows you to have better output. It's feature-rich functionality that really allows you to do more with your data. With a few examples we talked about before, things like trending and your overall reporting, something that always comes to mind for me personally is an analogy that I've used time and time again. And it really is taking a look at, most systems are taking a look at the forest at large, the massive forest, whereas having something like this, having a digital solution will let you get the much needed view of each individual tree within that forest, being able to pick out specific details, which is really the basis of what makes the digital system so great, as well as having output analysis. Your data really giving you the ability to make quality decisions much faster and really increase efficiency, as well as maintaining cost avoidance. There's no time-consuming configurations or customization on your end, which saves you a lot of time and money. And it's all wrapped in a compliant and safe solution with all of the guidelines that we spoke about before in the last slide. And all of this together really helps you go live. We have over 25 years of implementation experience and user experience with technical support, and it translates to seamless and rapid installations that are the fastest in the industry. And now we're just going to take a step back and take a look at the paper versus electronic system. And that all starts with this graphic right here. So what this means for you guys is this is really breaking down the 40-hour work week and showing how the time saving works on your end. And it all starts with data entry. Data entry time is reduced significantly, which translates to more time for quality decision-making and analysis. The execution and data entry part of it is reduced drastically, And that time is then added, you're then able to add that time back into other more meaningful parts of your work week. You're taking out the error-prone, time-consuming data entry work from your day-to-day, and you're taking that to have more time to plan and take preventative actions. You really have a lot more time to do your job instead of running after both the numbers and the people putting in the numbers.
Right, so going to talk about a bit about electronic system reports, right? So I want you to take a good look at these two graphs. These, obviously, we cannot provide statements without actually showing you the data for it. So this is data that we've collected from some of our clientele regarding before they were using software and when they were using a utility monitoring software, right? So kind of take into consideration that graph that Nick just showed you. You can clearly see that prior to using a software, so more of a manual process, there was no reports that were able to be generated under 15 minutes. The minimum was 15 minutes to an hour, and that was almost half of the reports being generated then, and it can take you up to a week to generate reports. Some were not generated with graphs, so no graph were generated prior to using a software as well, and 26% of them were unknown. So kind of move to the using a software part. Over 69% of the electronic reports have been produced within 15 minutes. So a huge increase in productivity also. So just, in the end, giving you more time for quality decisions, like Nick was mentioning earlier. And it takes no more than an hour to generate all of the reports, with obviously a cut in half to the unknown reports that were unfortunately not be able to be generated. So this is just kind of show you how much more productive and efficient you can be using a system, digitalized system. Obviously, any system would help you do something of the sort. So yeah.
And here's just an overarching view of the contamination control strategy process and how it really, it's not an isolated thing, it's an interconnected system. The contamination control strategy is multifaceted, and there's a lot of moving parts. Utility monitoring and its relating processes are critical in maintaining a consistent and regulated system that is both compliant to Annex 1 and efficient for the collective tests that need to be done. Things like minimizing risk of contamination from microbial, endotoxin, pyrogen, and particle sources. All of these are really monitored separately, and effectiveness should be considered together when looking at the overall contamination control strategy. Although each of them are different segments, you really are looking at, again, another kind of interconnected process. Now to take a step back and kind of look at the overarching points of the webinar so far with Going Digital, we looked at how you can streamline and enhance the efficiency of your utility monitoring processes. The first thing we did was we took a dive into the numerous benefits to a digitalized solution and highlighted some of the points like automated calculations, real-time monitoring with minimal downtime, and efficient resource allocation. This, along with the other benefits we discussed and innovations in utility monitoring, provides the foundation for your ability to maintain your utility systems across the board, all while maintaining consistency within data integrity guidelines. The second thing we looked at was eliminating overall risk of product contamination. We really discussed the ability to eliminate overall risk, things like microorganism classification, real-time monitoring, and excursion alerts, all in all playing a crucial role in both maintaining the product quality and specifications and bolstering your contamination control strategy. Lastly, we looked to the future, things like tracking and trending to analyze the root cause and preventing future excursions. With emerging technology being utilized to provide trending capabilities and in-depth root cause analysis, it really allows for you to take a proactive stance against risk overall. We discussed industry-wide digital transformation today and its effects on utility systems, contamination control strategy, and time savings for personnel. Just a quick note that I wanted to bring up. I know that our host was also talking about it before, but our next collaboration together is in Singapore. Novatek has worked with KENX over the years, sharing our expertise in digitalization and improved manufacturing processes. Our next in-person event is going to be in Singapore next month with talks and panel discussions led by our founder and CEO, Mr. 𝗞𝗲𝘆. As always, we encourage you to follow us online, and we look forward to seeing you at our other future KENX industry events. Thank you once again for joining us today. We hope this webinar really provided some valuable insights into the rapidly changing and innovative future of utility monitoring.
Yeah, so hopefully you got some information out of this. Feel free to book a demo to kind of personalize the system to you, or just get some information on how to digitalize the system, right? So contact us as soon as possible, and we'll promptly start that process with you.
Yep, we are here to advise you on your digitalization process. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you guys for the great presentation. And I'd like to open things up to the audience. And if anybody has any questions for David and Nick while they're here, we can answer some of your questions live. Also, in the meantime, if you guys had to really focus in on one or two concepts that you'd really like people to take home with them from this presentation, what would those one or two key points be?
David, if you want to go first, you can give a point, and then I can go in for a second point.
So obviously, I'm going to focus more on the fact that you can generate reports much faster than if you were to do it in a manual process, right? So I showed you guys kind of the graph before regarding that, and it just shows you how much time you can save and overall how much time you have remaining to be able to take actual quality decisions, right? So which is probably what you signed up for when you got the job in the first place. So yeah, that's one thing. I think Nick can give the second one.
Yeah, definitely. So for me, it was more so harping on the innovations within the industry at large. Trending is a bit of a part of what David was talking about when it comes to really taking a proactive approach and making sure that you're spending as much time making the quality decisions and not as much time doing raw data entry, which is of course prone to human error. I think a lot of the innovations in terms of being able to have a trackable audit trail, being able to really keep everything in check at large within the digital system, and it's all housed in one place, and you're able to monitor who's doing what. You're able to look at any given variable and zero in on specific details and possible risks before they can even occur is really the big take home for me, because I really think that in this industry specifically, taking a proactive approach is really the future for contamination control strategy, and being able to uphold that while still maintaining data integrity guidelines and being able to follow really strong Annex 1 requirements is massive, definitely.
Awesome, thank you. And I'd also like to remind everyone, if a question comes to you after the end of this webinar, feel free to reach out to David and Nicholas with their contact information listed on this slide, or to us at info@kenx.org, and we can be connected. With that said, if we don't see some additional questions in the next minute or so, we can probably close out.
Yeah. Okay, we'll give everybody a minute in case anybody has any questions.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions come in, so I think I want to just thank you both again for your time, for the great presentation, and again, thank you for everyone in our audience today who took the time out to join us. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantastic day.